Well, welcome to March Mochi Madness. How many have been to another event hosted by the lecture series before? Oh, lots of repeat customers. Great, great. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about how how Mochi Madness started. The lecture series group were sitting around, blah, 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 right? And we said, how many people at the end of the year have leftover mochi from the prior year? Everyone goes, right? You have mochi that ages for 12 months, and when the next mochitsuki, you throw it away. We go, well, maybe we should eat that before the end of the year. So anyway, so that evolved into, well, how do you eat mochi? So we're going to tell you all about that. And then March is, of course, basketball season. Sadly, my UCLA Bruins are not part of the Sweet 16, but I was hoping I could brag about UCLA, but sadly not. Anyway, so I also wanted to give you a little bit of background in terms of things that went into this event for today. We sacrificed and tasted a lot of mochi just for you guys, because we wanted to make sure it was really good. So we prepped, we tasted, then we prepped again, then we tasted again. So you're seeing the outcome of all of our tasting, and I think, you know, we sort of gained something around the middle just for you guys too. Also, there was a lot of volunteers. The Sansei lecture series, we've never come up with a better name for that yet. So if you have another name you'd like to join us, let us know. And also, this is a fundraiser for UI Kai, so we've got this lovely box here. So if you would want to contribute anything, you are certainly welcome to do that. And Mark, I'm supposed to advance this. March Mochi Madness. I think that's then Margaret. So Margaret's going to give you all the insides of mochi. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you. It's March Mochi Madness. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge Kathy Higuchi, who does all the graphics. You see the cute mochi and the format and the coloring. And so it's not me. All I do is put in the photos. I'd also like to acknowledge Bowman, who spent yesterday setting up all the equipment to make sure. They'll say, Margaret, you're holding this thing upside down. You know, I'm trying to speak into this. So, and then thank you to Henry, who's been here for several hours this morning, who's forced me to be in this cage. Because apparently when I make a presentation, I walk around, and it's hard for the camera to find me, but I really feel I'm not doing my best because I'm in a cage now. So thanks, Henry. And lastly, thank you, because 100% of your donation goes to support senior services. So this is March Mochi Madness. And this needs forward, okay. We do want to preserve mochi and the eating of mochi and making mochi as a way to preserve Japanese culture. And we do that with our family mochitsukis, or the community mochitsukis. The past year, it serves the same purpose of bringing groups together as it did with our ancestors who got together in the village during making mochi. And we still do the same. Different ages, different members of the community, different organizations get together to make mochi. How many of you have participated? And how many pounds are made, you know? Or how many are actually sold? Because the selling also makes mochi available to others in the community. In addition, there is camp mochi, because we want to continue the tradition, and one way is for elders to show the younger generation the skill of making mochi in the traditional way. But we really can't talk about mochi without understanding rice cultivation, which is the foundation of Japanese society: economics, political, religion. Rice planting and rice cultivation is extremely labor intensive at every stage, especially at planting, and in harvesting you need a whole village to process and make the rice. Here's one intensive step also: you have to dry the mochi so that it can be separated, the stalk from the rice. In addition, you have to store it in bales like this, and the bales are itself rice stalks. And so these are a measurement of, eventually, of measuring the weight of mochi in order for your taxes by the farmers. So in addition, clothing. For example, the clothing, mochi stalks, or mochi rice stalks, were used for protection from the snow. You have sandals, tatami mats, and head coverings, and especially the round bowls were used as offerings at the Shinto ceremonies. Now, mochi especially has been known to have a very magical quality. There is a story of a warrior, a samurai warrior, who was using a mochi cake as target practice. And he hit the mochi cake, which turned into a swan, which flew away, and thereafter all the rice paddies in the region dried up and the people starved. So we see the extreme importance of rice paddies because only 12% of the land is agricultural. It's mountainous and forests. So you have to use every inch to grow rice. And that's why we have the terraced paddies, so they can take advantage of the mountainous terrain. What else about rice? Oh, yes. A major portion of the harvest went to the feudal lords and for protection, and the measurement was called a koku, which is about 300 pounds of rice. So you saw those bales, they were about 100 pounds. So you would pay your land tax every year in koku or rice. And so they try to increase the harvest as much as possible. And you think, well, everyone eats rice. No, white rice is a luxury. The peasants had millet or grain or barley. They wouldn't eat white rice, maybe a little brown rice mixed with mainly gruel. We know the significance of Kagami mochi, in which at New Year's, the gods, it has a divine presence because the gods live in the Kagami mochi during New Year's, and after they depart, when you eat the mochi, you also inherit their prosperity, good health, good fortune, and prosperity meant a good rice harvest. The nobles thought that because it was stretched, it symbolized longevity, and so that's why they would eat mochi. Now, usually in my presentations, we have a quiz. Now, usually 5 questions, but the last time I did this, I had too much tension in the audience. And, you know, they had a lot of wrong answers also. So I thought, I'm going to only do 3 questions this time, and they're going to be really easy so we get 100% right. Because I can tell this is a very intelligent audience, and you are model minority, high academic achievers. That's your generation. So here we start. Again, if you don't know the answer, can you just kind of look to the right and left and see how the audience is? Oh yeah, that's the answer. All right, here we go. Remember, the nail that stands up gets hammered down. So we're into herd mentality here. All right, here's the first one, very easy. There are no differences between manju and mochi. Talk to a neighbor, what do you think? Is this true, and why? Is it false? Is it why? Or just talk to your neighbor. And who would like to express a reason? Because you know, you learn knowledge by thinking about why something is true or false.
Different rice.
It's different rice, yes. Thank you for taking a risk. You get an extra lottery ticket. Yes, it is false. Mochi is round, it's unflavored, it's plain. Manju, on the other hand, can be different shapes, and they also use wheat for more cake-like texture. And the key is it's a confection. You want to eat the different fillings. It's sweet. You would never see manju in the Shinto ritual as an offering. It's the plain white rice. Okay, you're doing 100% so far. Nobles of the imperial court avoided eating hard, dry mochi because it damaged their teeth. Talk to your neighbor. This is an easy one too. Pretend like you're talking to your neighbor. Go ahead.
Hard and dry.
Yeah, you can get light.
Okay, I heard Karen. Karen, what? Yes. What? Karen, what do you think?
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
But I know you, Karen. You get an extra lottery ticket.
They might have avoided eating it, but I don't think it's because they were worried about their teeth.
So is it true or false?
False.
Okay, anyone else? Is there anyone else who has?
We're not 100% then.
Well, the answer is false. Because they felt the mochi toughened their teeth. Because good teeth were very good. You need good teeth to eat and for well-being. And I was curious why geishas had black teeth. Have you seen pictures of geishas with their teeth blackened? You haven't? Well, try looking. Anyway, the geisha had black teeth. I looked it up. It's for beauty, of course, but also it was black wax that prevented tooth decay. Yes.
What do you mean by hard mochi?
You know when you go in your freezer and you take it out a year later, it's pretty hard. That's hard mochi. The brittle, hard, old.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for the question. You get a lottery ticket too. Okay, eating a plain mochi is healthier than eating a bowl of rice. Okay, talk to your neighbor. You're not even pretending to talk.
Well, it's like so they can get more rice in the morning.
Okay, I'm gonna pick on someone. Is there a Jane in here? Is there a Chris in here?
No.
Is there a Sue in here?
Oh, there's a Chris over there.
Where? Chris.
I think it's basically unhealthy because one mochi is the equivalent, I think, of about a pretty good sized bowl of rice.
So is it?
You eat too much.
Well, is it true or false? I'm just asking for a simple answer. Is it true or false?
False.
Because?
Because you eat too much.
Okay. The answer is true. And the main reason is it has something called resistant starch. So resistant starch in mochi, it's created because it is cooked and then cooled. And so apparently you digest mochi slower because it doesn't digest in the small intestine, but the larger intestine, where it ferments, and that fermentation improves gut health, as also regulates your blood sugar spikes if you're diabetic after a meal. So it is better for you because of the fact. Now you can turn regular rice and have more resistant starch, but again, cooking it, leaving it in the refrigerator for 12 to 24 hours, and then eating it. So the pasta you've made the next day after it's been refrigerated has more resistant starch. And they're looking for ways to put more resistant starch in breads so that you can eat more of the healthy starch that slows the digestion. Now we also know that both rice and mochi are pretty much low fat, gluten-free, cholesterol-free, lactose-free, low sodium, which you having all the toppings today that will make it totally unhealthy. Because you're going to have the mochi plus all the toppings that are high sodium. And of course, we mustn't forget, it is the negative of choking hazard, especially for seniors. You cut it into small pieces. Now, it's very popular with younger generations now, so we know they're eating mochi, they know about mochi. We want to encourage them to eat mochi throughout the year. For example, we have mochi ice cream, mochi donuts, and there is a Netflix children's series called Waffles and Mochi, produced by Michelle Obama. And episode 5 is called Rice. And the idea is she has two main characters, Waffles, the puppet, and you see the little mochi? So those two characters want to learn how to cook foods from around the world. So in episode 5, it's rice. And so they go, someone says, oh, Mochi, did you know your ancestors are Japanese rice? And he says, oh, I want to find my roots. So they fly to Kyoto, Japan, and they go to a onigiri bar, and they have a man with his son and teaching him how to make onigiri. It's all dubbed, they're speaking Japanese, but it's dubbed into English. And then he goes to a place that produces mochi, and they see them pounding, and you see a flat of mochi, the little round ones, and he jumps in there, oh, I found my relatives. Oh, I'm so happy I found my roots, and he flies back. And then Demon Slayer, these are attractive young girls, apparently slay demons. Well, one of them is Mitsuri, the most attractive one. She had black hair, but for a month she only ate sakura mochi, which she loved. And then her hair turned pink and green, just like sakura mochi. And who knows this person? Are there any BTS?
I do.
Judy, what's his name?
Jimin.
Yes, Jimin. And his nickname is Baby Mochi or Mochi because of his squishy white cheeks. I think he's quite cute. So, you know, we want to teach our young generation how to make mochi. There are new ways to make mochi, which is you will be experiencing a Moffle using a waffle iron. And it's really easy to make mochi crackers with an air fryer. You just chop it up into small pieces. Some of the recipes online say to dry it, but you just chop it up in small. You have to put a little oil on it so that the salt will stick. And maybe in the air fryer for 5 minutes, just check. It's crispy, you toss it out, you eat it right away. So it's very, very easy. And of course you have in your handout ways to cook the traditional ways, and young kids can learn how to cook in these traditional ways also. Here's examples of the unsavory, unhealthy things you'll be adding to your mochi today. High sodium, high cholesterol, and high sugar. And so I'm going to close by saying that I hope that you've learned a few ways to think about sharing, that your younger generation continues eating mochi, but not only that, but the importance of reminding them about the importance of this significant sacred food of our past. So, thank you. Okay, this is an example. We'll be using kiri mochi, which is dried. The only ingredient is glutinous rice. There's no red food coloring, vitamin C or anything. This is straight mochi, which is, if you can't have access, you use kiri mochi. It looks like this.
Thank you, Margaret. I learned something. I wouldn't have gotten 100%.
Just on the BTS.
Yeah, I actually yesterday when we were going through this, she goes, do you know who this guy is? Oh, where have you been? But anyway, did people learn at least one thing today?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. I always thought they didn't eat mochi because of their teeth, so what do you know? Again, a shameless ask. Here's the donation box. Oh, I have to adjust this too. Now that I'm retired, it's like, oh.
Judy, I forgot to ask for the discussion. Do we have time for that? It's only 1:24. Do you have ways to make mochi or eat mochi with your young people in your generation? How do you cook it? Do you have very special toppings we haven't mentioned here? We have about 15 toppings. So go ahead and talk. I'm going to call on 5 people. I'm going to make up names so I might be able to find you there. Okay, I'd like to hear, we'd love to hear your ideas on how you make or eat mochi throughout the year. What are your techniques? Is there a Sumiko out there? Is there a Sachiko? I'm making up these names. Is there a Bob out there?
How do you make your mochi?
I take it out of the freezer,
Yeah, good,
put it in the
good first
microwave,
step.
let it blow up a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I have butter in my frying pan. Butter has melted, and I put the mochi in there, get it brown on one side, flip it over, brown on the other side, and sato shoyu.
What kind of shoyu?
Sato, sugar shoyu.
Oh, I didn't know that had a name. I'm a sensei, what do I know?
Yes, Lagana.
We used to make mochi Mimori style, and then my auntie would come from Fukuoka. So what they would do is when the mochi was hot, little small dollop, and they grated daikon, lemon juice, and shoyu. And you just dipped it and ate it.
Oh, yes.
So I understand it's Fukuoka style.
Well, thank you for that discussion. All right, let's see, where are we? Okay. So this is what we're going to do next. And so this is all going to be downstairs. We're going to have a variety of toppings. We have sweet, savory, and stinky. I'll let you guys decide what you think. Anybody guess what a stinky topping might be? Natto, you got it. Another guess for the second one? No? No? Oh, but we didn't bring kimchi, but we did taste that though. Sardines. I've heard it's good. Yeah, anyway. And so between sweet, savory, and stinky, we have over 15 toppings downstairs. So pace yourself, right? And so we've got sweet in one area, savory and stinky, and then we have snacks. And we have, of course, Kathy isn't here, but the infamous or famous Kathy Higuchi Cheeseball. She makes these cheese balls specifically for every lecture series. This time it's all about basketball, and it's beautiful. It is edible, so make sure you eat some, not just look at it and take a picture. So we have that. And has anybody had a Moffle before? Oh, good. One person. When did you have a Moffle?
5 years ago. I made one.
Oh, you made one?
I saw it online somewhere, so I tried it.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll be making Moffles all afternoon, and we're going to cut them up into, I think, quarters, so you can, kind of don't put everything all at one time, because you've got a lot of stations to go through. A raffle ticket. Everyone was given a raffle ticket when they, you'll get a raffle ticket later. When you get a raffle ticket, make sure you keep half of it, because otherwise, if you win, we don't know who you are. So make sure you keep half. And there's all these different raffle prizes. We've got 9 raffle prizes. So if you would want to win one of those, you put your raffle ticket in that bowl, and then we'll do a drawing. You do need to be present to win. So if you ditch early, you better give your raffle ticket to somebody that's going to stay here. There is also a library of mochi books. Who knew, right? The people were very prolific about writing mochi books. So we've got that. We also have drinks. We have hot and cold drinks. You also have an evaluation form. Make sure that really helps us plan the next events. So make sure you fill out your evaluation form. And we also have a reference list on here. So these are all the people that really helped contribute to our successful event. You can read all of that, including our staff, Chris and Karen and Keiko. And J-Town Community TV is doing all of the videotaping. A lot of us got our recipes from the Just One Cookbook. If you've anybody gone to that website? Yeah, if you don't know how to cook Japanese food like me, it's a great place to go.
The book is good too.
Oh, the book, okay. And now she's selling things on her website, I've heard. And then the last thing I want to mention, there is this book called The Mochi Maker, Sharon Fujimoto Johnson, and she is actually going to be in person at Jams on April 24th. So if you get a chance, go to Jams and see her in person. So this is the lecture series committee, and we're all little mochis. We had to actually pay for this little graphic, so we use it everywhere. You may see it often. Make sure we get our money's worth. Oh, yes, the run. Have anybody participated in a UIKI fun run in the past?
Way in the past.
Yeah, you're there every year, Lee. You probably have a bank of t-shirts. Anyway, registration is open. It's the same day as Nikkei Matsuri on April 27th. You get a wonderful t-shirt, beautiful medal, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a fun run, right? So we do give prizes though, so it's fun and yet it's also competitive. So anyway, but the stairs, like I said, are here, or elevators down to the second floor to begin your Moffling experience. But again, thank you so much for coming. We love doing these things and seeing a great turnout. And hopefully you've learned something, hopefully meet a few new friends, and come back to our next event. So thank you.
After all that trial, amazing that one. Is that little cheddar cheese? Oh, to the hair? Yeah.
But then you said you put the mustard on it.
Oh, okay. People won't eat it.
So I see this is so you can hold on to it.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what I do there.
Yeah. This is how we're learning. Kiss. Thank you. Here, I'll try the soup. Okay, and you can also add Moffles into the soup.
Oh, just cut it up?
Yeah.
Yes, look like we're enjoying it.
Oh no, I'm just getting started. Thanks for making all these chicken wings.
This is the easiest chicken wing to ever make. You soak it in sake, and then you put salt and pepper, put it in the broiler, you're done.
Really?
Yep.
Wandering around eating.
It's got everything.
It's every condiment you can have.
And there's some Moffle under there.
Oil or waffle maker, or muffler. And then, these are kitty mochi, which are shelf-stable mochi. And so we go ahead and you can just put them right in, just like that. And then it'll show a little bit, but after a while they will spread out and brown, and you'll have your little muffle. Usually only about 7 minutes. So, nice. I mean, they're really good.
903. Vanna White here. Tamari teriyaki. Mini mochi with red bean and Hello Kitty. Oh, this is Oh, yeah, with the committee we're not eligible,
Yeah.
so have no limit.
Oh, and you know, these are the crispy mochi.
The original.
Original. Okay, 887. Anyway, they're placemats and lovely hashi and hashi holder. 897. You can have a dress-up party. Another wonderful reusable bento box and a reusable shopping bag. And it has cherries because it's cherry blossom time now.
886. It's over there.
Oh. Yay! Congratulations.
Next bag.
928.
Oh, yay! Congratulations! There you go. Mochi for the rest of your life. Like I was saying, this is shelf stable. It'll outlive me. This is the last batch. 922. Congratulations. Yay. Now we're coming to your house, Linda. She's doing this at her house next week. Okay, so if you're not a nacho person and you win, you can either say pass, or you can take it and give it to a friend. Or someone you dislike. Whatever you like to do. Okay. 924. 924. 924. Okay. It's going to be your next best friend. That's a lot.
933.
Oh! Congratulations!
Came all the way from Gilroy.
Oh my gosh, yes! We've got 2 cheese balls, but they're individual. So 2 winners. 931. Oh, yay! We'll let you figure out how to package it. Oh, okay. You can only go so far.
Thank you.
The next thing, daikon. So this comes from Hikari Farms over by Watsonville, and it's an amazing farm. Everything is grown kind of in a hothouse.
934.
934, yay!
From Gilroy.
Oh, yeah. Just around the corner. Who doesn't love Nutella?
944.
Oh. 944. There you go.
Drawing prize, thank you again. And so remember, we're all winners. Those of you that did win will be lucky. Maybe it is your turn to buy a what do you call them? Lotto. Scratch off. Okay, here we go. Oh, another 8. 882. Oh! Thank you so much.